Hello and good morning, good day, good evening, whatever it may be for you. I was just here wanting to do some cards, do a reading. I'm like kind of struggling on what do I speak to, what do I go to? And I decided to draw a card for it. And the card that came up was at the edge of evolution feels messy. Oh my gosh, how true is that? When we're going through changes, when we're transitioning in life, when we're evolving within ourselves and our internal life is going one way and our external life is going another because nothing's quite aligned yet, that process is icky. It feels a little, off-putting. We don't like it. We're like, oh, why can't we just go from point A to point B and skip the middle? It would make it so much easier. But, that's not life. So life is messy. And so what can we do? What are the things that we do? Because there are so many components to that evolution, to that transition, to that change. And we need to realize that there are a lot of things we need to care for, but really we need to care for our inner self. And so this card is Your Soul Shines and Raw Intention. And this is really cool. So when we're in that messy in between, we need to really come back within ourselves, because we can get lost in the mess. We can get lost in that, like, oh my God, what is happening? Where are we going? What the hell is this? Just get me out. And it's hard. It's hard to be in that space because we're like, what do I do? What do I do? What am I supposed to focus on? Our focus goes all over the place. But what we need to always come back into when we're at our most uncomfortable is to come back within ourselves, to realize that it is our soul that shines. That our soul is shining within us, whether we see it or perceive it or not. That light is there. And when we come back to the light within ourselves, we remember that this is just a season. It's just a season. It's temporary. It's not forever. Even though it might feel like it, it isn't. And then raw intention. So this brings me to just having, coming within, recognizing your light, and then setting that intention of, I'm going to keep moving. Because it's so easy when we're in this process, when we're in this in-between, to want to stop. We just want to stop. We don't want to move. And that's not conducive to our evolution. It's not conducive to our growth. And so coming back mentally and getting back into that feeling of, I am light, I am love, and I am growing. I am evolving. And as messy as this is, I'm just going to keep going. And having that raw intention of just putting one foot in front of the other, knowing that no matter what comes across your path, that you have the strength and the ability and everything within you to keep going with it, that you're gonna get through it, that you will see the other side of it. And this really makes me think of when I first started my journey, and I was in a very bad marriage and had to get out of it, and it really felt like I was going to be stuck in this hell forever. And I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? And I had to keep coming back to the truth of who I was, that I am worthy of love, that I am worthy of a joyous life, that I am worthy of these things that are in my heart. And I had to come back to this light within me and the intention of creating the life that I wanted instead of settling or surviving the one that I was in. And so here's a card. And and these are really cool cards. It is the Essential Oil deck. And so there's a trigger statement and a truth statement. And the trigger statement is, I need to fix this. And so a lot of times when we're in that messy space, we feel like we have to fix things. I have to do this, I have to do that. And we start forcing and pushing and striving, and nothing seems to happen. And so the true statement on this is, I am willing to learn from this. And it says, lift yourself above your life situation and observe as a witness. Understand that you are so much more than the story. Oh my gosh, that is so true. When we get stuck in those places of, I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to make this work, I have to fix this, I have to make this into something else. We fall into that space of control, and we really end up kind of separating ourselves from spirit, separating ourselves out of that divine flow. And it'll end up keeping us stuck. It'll keep us, in that kind of battering ram place where we just feel like we're hitting our head on the wall. It's not going anywhere. And so that's when we need to stop, and we need to step back. We need to take that higher perspective, remove ourselves mentally from the story, remove ourselves from that drama, and be able to look at it as an observer, as a witness. And when we look at it from that observer space, from that light within, with that intent of, we know we're growing, then we can see the lessons that are in that situation. For me, I had gotten into a kind of a short relationship after my divorce, and I was like, oh man, what am I supposed to learn here? I was starting to feel stuck. I felt like I was falling into old patterns that I did not want to be in, and I was just sort of freaking out inside. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And when I stopped, when I allowed myself to remember me, remember that I was evolving, that I was growing, that I was moving into a space of self-love to create the life that I wanted, I recognized that what I had to learn in that situation, in that relationship, was boundaries. I didn't know how to set boundaries for myself. I didn't know how to communicate them and enforce them. And so in this short relationship that sort of happened, it was a little crazy, but I realized, like, to love myself, I have to step into my boundaries. I know what they are, but I need to stop allowing people to cross them. I had to stand in that. And so being able to step back and see the messiness of my life as it was in that moment, I had to have that willingness to learn from it so that I could move on. Because we are so much more than the story. We're so much more than what's happening, than what's going on. But it's easy to fall into that space of being stuck in the story, being stuck in the drama. And so stepping back is so important. Ooh, this is the good one too. So bergamot. The trigger statement on this one is, I am not enough. How many times do we go through all the junk and all the garbage in our messy process and feel like I'm not enough? I don't have what it takes to get through this. I'm not strong enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not brave enough. I'm not whatever. Fill in the blank. And so we need to come back to this true statement of, I love myself. And so your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it. And that is so beautiful. Because really this life is about evolving into love. We are love. And that's why this evolution process is so messy, because we are in this 3D space where we have lived so much in fear states, in fear and doubt and judgment and criticism and all of this, and we're shifting to come out of that to step into love. And so when we're in these messy spots, when we're in this place of, oh my God, I don't think I'm ever going to get anywhere, or I'm not enough to get anywhere, we need to come back to the truth that we are light, that we are love. And remember that our intention is to move ever closer to that, to move closer to our light, deeper within that light, and become that love, to be love in its fullest expression. And so we need to be willing to look at the situations in our life, no matter how messy, no matter how awful they may be able to step back, to separate ourselves from the story, to move back out of the drama, and be able to say, okay, what is my lesson here? What do I need to learn from this here so that I can move forward? And really knowing that at the end of the day, it's all about loving yourself. Your heart is worthy of love. And that love is really, you can only give that to yourself. You cannot expect others to fill that space for you. We have to fill it ourselves first. And so we need to be gentle with ourselves in this time. We need to be tender with ourselves, knowing that, hey, we are learning. We are growing. You know, this isn't something that just happens overnight, as much as we wish it would. Because, oh my God, it would make it so much easier. But that's not how it works. It's messy. It's icky. We face gnarly things. We face the shadow parts of ourselves that we're like, oh, where the hell did that come from? You know, we face the things in our lives that we've really just kind of settled on and put up with for so long because we've thought that we had to. You know, maybe we didn't see our own worth. We didn't have that love really for ourselves, you know? And so being able to step back and to be tender with yourself, to remember your light, and to remember that you are here for love and for joy. You are meant to live a joyous life. You are meant to live that life abundantly in love.